Good morning, dear students. I am Pragati Mishra, English teacher of N.L.K group of schools. Children, today is your English literature turn, so we will learn a new poem. The name of the poem is The Land of Storybooks, written by Robert Louis Stevenson. At evening, when the lamp is lit, around the fire my parents sit. They sit at home and talk and sing and do not play at anything. Children, the speaker in this poem is a young child. He is describing his evening rituals here. In these lines, he says that when it's evening time, the lamp is lit. Why it is lit? Because it's dark and lamp is the only source of light. He describes that his parents sit around the fire and they talk or sing, but they do not play anything. Now with my little gun I crawl all in the dark along the wall and follow around the forest track away behind the sofa back. Unlike other family members, this boy spends his time roaming about in his house with his little gun. He thinks that he is somewhere else, like in forest. Actually, the child has constructed his camp behind a sofa, and it is there that he spends his time. He roams there in his world behind sofa, which is far more attractive than that of his parents. There in the night where none can spy, all in my hunter's camp I lie, and play at books that I have read till it is time to go to bed. Children, the child in this poem has created his world of imagination through the books that he has read. He appreciates all those adventures that one might engage in within the pages of a book. He says that he is in his hunter's camp. Now, where is the hunter's camp? That is behind sofa. And this is the place where no one can see him or gather secret information about him. And in his hunter's camp behind the sofa, this child reads the books. Every evening is spent this way until unfortunately it's time to go to bed. Child rereads the passages and perhaps acts out the most exciting scenes and all the places that he visits within the pages of his books. Okay, we will see what is described in the next stanza. These are the hills, these are the woods, these are my starry solitudes, and there the river by whose brink the roaring lions come to drink. So children, in these lines we see that behind the sofa, crouching away from his family, this boy explores hills and woods. These places he visits alone, starry solitudes. Solitudes means moments when one is happy to be alone. No one else in home or from outside can explore his places. It is these places that he is the happiest. He can see a river from which lions come to drink. The boy can see dangerous faraway places without leaving his camp. What he can see far away? I see the others far away, as if in firelit camp they lay, and I like to an Indian scout around their party prowled about. So children, the young boy continues to describe another place that he visits. Hidden away in the outskirts of the scene, he is able to observe a firelit camp and all those other places he explores. He is like an Indian scout. Who is an Indian scout? Native Americans who were often called Red Indians in olden times. Okay? Like a young explorer, he is able to see the world and prowling about. Prowling about means moving carefully and quietly without anyone knowing about it. The exploration eventually comes to an end. Let's see what happens in the last stanza. So when my nurse comes in for me, home I return across the sea and go to bed with backward looks at my dear land of storybooks. So, children, in this last stanza, he says, the evening is ending and his nurse or nanny comes to fetch him from his camp to the real world. As he is led to his room, he looks back at his place behind the sofa with longing. Means he wants to go back. But he will return again the next day, he promises to himself. So, children, in this poem, the land of storybooks means actually the imagination of this young boy. The poet is all alone in the company of interesting books which contain magical tales of jungle and its wild animals. He imagines about hills, about forests and all that natural scenery. He enjoys it, although his parents are busy in their work. The poem begins with the speaker describing how, in the evening, when his parents are doing nothing but sitting around the fire and talking, and then at that time he escapes behind the sofa from his place of concealment, he delves into the land of storybooks. So, behind the sofa, he hides and nobody can see him there. Then, from there, he enters into the land of storybooks. He explores the stories that he has read before and enters into new stories. From his hiding place, the boy can see and experience this entire world. Now, this time of exploration, he thrills him so much. He's able to see the lions, he's able to see the firelit camps, the river. Okay, but what happens at the end? He says eventually this end comes and the nurse comes in and the nurse asks him to go to bed, and then he goes back looking behind at the camp and he says that he will return back next day. So, children, this was the poem. Please go through it again and also learn the difficult words. That was all for today. Thank you.